Hello, good morning, afternoon, or evening. I'm Madison, and I'm so super glad you could join me today. First off, I would just like to say thank you. I was in shock at how much you guys enjoyed my last video, so I really hope I don't disappoint. And also, I really appreciated all the help and information you guys were able to provide me with. Thank you for the love and the encouragement. I'm so thrilled that everyone seems to be liking my content, and I already adore the community that's being built here. Today, I'm sharing my speed build of my house area. This is my first build that really came mainly from my own brain. It's not perfect and it definitely has some busy areas, but I'm super excited to share it with you nonetheless. So let's go right ahead and jump on into some more cozy Animal Crossing gameplay. Okay, so here are some of the materials I used when I was doing this build. Please remember that this is completely up to your discretion if you're trying to rebuild this. I really encourage you to make it your own and put your own spin on it. And if you do try to rebuild this or any of my work, or you're inspired by it, anything like that, please tag me. I would absolutely love to see what you can come up with. So, with those materials in mind, the first thing I did was pick out an area. I chose the spot behind my neighborhood, and then I moved my house up there. Previously, it had been my messy and unorganized version of a breeding ground for flowers, so I had to dig all those up and move them out of my way. I also had a lot of windflowers to get rid of, and I'm not sure what it is with me and windflowers, but I just don't like them. So once all of that was out of the way, I laid out some custom paths, and all those codes are in my Instagram highlights, so you can head over there and check that out. Unsurprisingly, I was going for another mini plaza look. I'm not sure what it is with me and my obsession with fountain plazas, but that's just kind of what I'm obsessed with right now. So what was originally a 6x6 area turned into a 7x6 so that it would line up with my front door, which is 3 spaces wide instead of 2. I was pretty frustrated about the stairs leading up to this area not lining up perfectly with my door, but some things you just have to let go. I would say for the most part I'm satisfied with this look. My only complaint, aside from the door situation, would be the horizontal path, where the fountain meets in the center. It's 2 wide instead of 3, but honestly I don't think it sticks out all that much unless you're looking for it. I absolutely adore this floral dirt path. I know it's more cottagecore than elegantcore, but I just couldn't help myself. I'm not entirely sure what determined the shape for me. I just knew I wanted it to look natural, so I just kind of laid out the path until it gave me something I liked, which is often how I decorate. When that was done, I worked on organizing my flowers to continue breeding blue hyacinths. A good note would be that I have found this to be the most effective way to breed my flowers. There may be a more effective way to do this, and if there is, let me know in the comments. I know you can get a golden watering can, which can help, but other than that, this is the most effective way I have found. I followed up organizing my breeding grounds by outlining the area and hedge fencing. It really kind of gave it that elegant garden feel. And I eventually put down a pergola at the side entrance to the breeding grounds. And while I had the hedges out, I ran over to the plaza area again and plotted some around the corners. And oh my goodness, did it make such a difference. Now that was down, I planted some blue hyacinths and cedar trees to fill in a little bit of my empty space. And I went ahead and ran down to Tom Nook and finished upgrading my house, and then of course I was back outside doing the finishing touches. I did a little bit of terraforming and made some waterfalls, and at some point I added the castle towers, switching the silos out for them, but I don't have any footage of that, even though I thought I recorded it. But I also recall accidentally deleting footage. I thought I was deleting footage I'd already saved, but given that I recall recording footage of me swapping out the silos for the castle towers, tells me I accidentally deleted it, so that's on me. My bad. Anyway, I originally put down blue hyacinths up here, but I thought that would be too much when paired with the blue hydrangeas, so I later swapped them out for white hyacinths, and I ended up liking that much better. I threw down the custom path I used for lamps, and then I laid out some ironstone fencing behind the flowers. If you haven't already noticed, I don't do my builds in order. I sort of just drop things in all sorts of random places until eventually it all comes together. So I do apologize for that. Don't be like me, because it can get very overwhelming doing it this way, not to mention how awful it is trying to put the footage together. Moving right along, as you can see, the blue hyacinths magically changed to white. Also, this is the first time I've used these hedges up here, and I have to say, I really like them. Now, I don't think they're worth all the Nook miles, but they definitely have a very elegant look to them. So I might be using them more often if my wallet will let me. This is the part where I felt like it got really busy. I'm not sure what I had in mind, but like most of my decor, it's susceptible to change, and likely soon. The longer I stare at this area, the less I like it, but I'll go ahead and talk through it anyway. So I placed a garden gnome and a garden faucet, both of which I really should have customized beforehand. And then I laid out this beautiful custom wooden path, which I also have no footage of. I also placed 2 flat garden rocks in front of each of the large waterfalls, and then a stone stool next to each of those. I wanted to place a butterfly model on both stools, but I only had one, so I settled for the one. Finally, I placed a fake beautiful statue in the center, and I was relatively satisfied. At some point, I hopped back on the upper level and laid down some garden lamps and blue hydrangea bushes that I had to time travel for, but of course I couldn't find any footage of that either because, well, why would I? One of my favorite parts of this area is the street lamps at the top of the staircase. This custom design banner is absolutely gorgeous, and again, you can find this code as well as everything else in my custom designs highlights that, of course, do not belong to me. It's on my Instagram, so definitely check that out. I spent the last little bit filling in more space with hydrangeas and hyacinths. I was pretty happy with the setup and the outcome. I went back to the plaza area and filled in some space there as well. This shockingly didn't turn out so busy, and it actually worked really well. I did run over to the waterfall area and throw down a wooden bucket, but right now I took the bucket away because it was just the icing on the cake, making everything over there look so busy. And last but certainly not least, I put down 2 flower beds and concluded my build. For now, anyway. I already have some add-on ideas that I'm probably going to work on right after I post this. Yeah, so now it's time for the tour of the finished product. I have to say I'm really proud of myself because, like I said at the beginning, most of this came from my own brain with very little inspiration from other creators. If anything that was inspired, it would be the towers and the leaf-shaped corners of the plaza area. That was inspired by Pinterest posts that I've seen as well as other people I've found on Instagram, and if I can find the pictures that inspired me, I'll post those in my inspiration Instagram highlights. Yeah, I'm really happy with this outcome, and I can't wait to see what else I can pull from my brain. Like I said, I already have a couple ideas, and when I make those changes, I'll take pictures and post this on Instagram as well. Also, I'd like to take a moment to thank and shout out to my partners here on the screen. They're part of the reason that this is possible, and they're a huge outlet for my creativity and inspiration. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. And while you're at it, go ahead and check out my Instagram for regular decor and comfy cozy posts, as well as video updates. Thank you again for joining me, and I'll see you in my next video.